So you're praying, you're fasting, and you think you've got a connection with Allah, but you're not increasing. In fact, you're static. And then sometimes you're actually going backwards. Your gears are always in reverse no matter how much you try. You're still praying, you're still fasting, but you never seem to be getting anywhere. It's like you're running and running and running, and somebody's pulling you back, and there's nothing you can do about it. And no, we're not talking about shaitan pulling you back. We're talking about yourself pulling you back. So here's an example. So what am I talking about? Let's look a bit deeper. So what exactly do you do in your Islamic life? You're probably just praying and fasting in Ramadan, reading some Quran a day, some Adhkar a day, if you're lucky, and that's it. And then you're asking yourself why you're not growing. And then if you were to decide one day, I want to gain, I want to grow spiritually, then you say, all right, I'm going to spend some more time. So I'm going to watch a random lecture. I'm going to do some research on some fiqh issues. I'm going to open a fiqh website, go through one question, and there's a link for another one, and a link for another one. And then I'm going to spend a few hours every day. And wow, I feel much better, much enlightened. But you still feel like you're not growing. You still don't have that wanderlust for Islam where you're willing to give 8 hours, 10 hours, or all your days off to study and worship and contemplation. Why is that? That's because you're heading into Islam in a haphazard way. So, for example, you want to become a doctor. What are the steps that you do? You first go to school, get your A levels, graduate, go to med school, get the degree you need, then do a master's, then do your training, and then become a doctor. When you want to become a lawyer, what do? You start with your GCSEs, you start with your A levels, then you do a degree in law, and then you do that training certificate that you need to do, and then you need to get the training before you're signed off to become a solicitor. The same with the dentist, the same with everything that you want to do. So why don't you tackle Islam in that same fashion? You think you'll dive into prayer and prayer will give you what you need? But I study hadith, but I read tafsir, but I do all of these things, Amir. So why are you telling me that I can't grow like this? All right, fair enough. You do this, you study hadith. But if I want to grow spiritually and I go to a hadith teacher that teaches me abstract hadith, because that's what he's there for, am I growing? Is he caring for my internal state, or is he only caring that he's imparted the hadith with the correct understanding in an abstract context, because that's all he's concerned about? Or you're going to a tafsir teacher and you're listening to tafsir of Quran, the nuances, the literary understanding of it, the transmission-based understanding of it, how it fits into seerah. And you're thinking, wow, but you come away and you still find you're not growing. Why is that? That's because you're neglecting the science that you need. It's great if you want to learn tafsir. Go do it. It's great if you want to learn hadith, go and do it. It's great if you want to learn fiqh or any other science, go and do it. But don't think by picking up a random book or by listening to a random lecture or by picking up a fiqh book or a hadith book, you're going to grow. You're not growing because you're not going to the right teacher. You need to go to a spiritual teacher who will give you a curriculum. The spiritual teacher will look at you as a whole person, and he will chart a course for you from A to Z. And that's not the same course he's going to give your colleague if he comes with you, because he's going to again look at your colleague as in a holistic method and give him a course of treatment or study or exercises that are exclusively for him. And then you're going to keep touching base. Just like when you go to the gym and you've got a coach and you say, Coach, I'm unfit, train me, coach. I'm not eating well, I'm not sleeping well. My marriage life is a mess. My sex life is a mess. My friend's life is a mess. My work life is a mess. My motivation is down. There's so many things, coach. I don't know which one to tell you first. The coach is going to say, okay, you've told me enough. Sit down, relax. I'm going to chart a course for you. All you've got to do is follow me. Keep your eyes closed. Don't even think. Just listen and follow, and I'm going to push you and you're going to do. So he's going to tell you what to eat, when to eat. You don't even need to think about it. He's going to tell you exercises, the reps, the weight, the volume, the intensity. Everything he's going to tell you, you don't even need to think about it. And if you're doing it and you're failing, he will push you, swear at you, even hit you to do it. And by the end of a month milestone or a 3-month milestone, he's going to look at you and assess you and then fine tune an adjustment. And you're going to carry on. By the end of 9 months, if you've been heedless, you've got somewhere without knowing what happened, but you've got somewhere. Or if you were mindful, you will learn everything in the process. And after 9 months, now you have the tools to walk away and carry on what he taught you. And then every now and so, you touch base with him again. And he fine tunes you again. And if you start to fail, you watch the wrong movie that makes you pull out a pizza and eat when you're watching your fast and furious, and it just goes down well with the pizza. And then the belly comes out, and then the sugar drinks come out, and then you miss an exercise session because you watched another fast and furious or something like that. And then what happens? You go back to him and he says, right, okay, we're going to start again. We're going to rewind the clock 3 months because that's how long it will take. And we're going to start from here and you're going to go through all that hardship again. This is the example of a spiritual teacher. But how many of us follow spiritual teachers? When we want to graduate from university, we find a teacher. When we want medical treatment, we find a doctor. If you want medical advice for your eyes, you're not going to find a dentist. Or you're not going to find a normal GP. A normal GP is going to send you on. If you want orthodontic treatment, you're not going to go to a normal GP. If you want cosmetic treatment, you're not going to go to a normal dentist. You're going to go to a specialist. So when it comes to your Islam, why are you shooting yourself in the foot before you've even started? Why do you feel like you are on this journey and you can get there by yourself? And if you stumble somewhere, oh, I've got a friend, I can always ask him. Well, since when did you ask your friends when it came to graduating from doing your dissertation? Weren't you in close consultation with a professor that would guide you on how to pass that dissertation? So why don't you apply the same tools in your Islamic training? And then you'll see, you'll grow. Who's holding you back? You are the only one that's holding you back. And most people, they will listen to what I'm saying and say, well, it makes sense, but they're not going to listen to anything I say, and they're going to carry on doing what they did. And then 10 years down the line, they're going to be in exactly the same place, and they're going to say, what happened? What are some of the things that we can do when we sit? What are some of the things that we learn with a teacher? So, for example, if you go to a spiritual teacher, most people have taken care of their prayer and their Quran, but they're not bettering themselves. They still stink in their personality. They're still ugly to look at. A spiritual teacher will give you those ahadith that you didn't find on your own, or you sidestep them, overlook them because it was too painful to think that, oh, you know what, I've got to do this and I can't do this. I'd rather learn a hadith that talks about, locking up the women in the house, or men have to have beards and women have to wear hijab and niqab and all this. It's easier for me to bang people out than for me to bang my own soul out, my own ego out. So you bypass those hadith. Well, it's those same painful hadith that are very small but are most painful for you. You know, a thorn is very tiny, but it gives a very painful prick when you put it inside you, when you prick yourself with it. So it's those same hadith that are going to prick you again and again, and they're going to bang you into place. And they're going to bang you, literally bang the rough edges into a smooth surface that reflects what? The light of Allah. And that is what's going to fix you. That's what's going to, you need that banging in place by those small hadith. So when you go to the sheikh, he's going to make you follow those small things that are going to give you manners, that are going to give you etiquettes, how you pray in a beautiful way, how you sit in a beautiful way, how you sit in a masjid, how you sit with your family, how you conduct yourself. This is the beauty of Islam that is sorely lacking in our society. People go to the mosque and pray, but they sit in a bad way. They talk in a bad way. They act in a bad way. They go into the mosque with malice even. They don't leave their egos at the door. They don't know how to put their shoes in the right place. They don't know how to make wudu in a beautiful way. This is Islam, and this is part of the reward of Islam. Who told you it was just your prayer? So, likewise, if you want to progress, you can take this advice or you cannot take it. 10 years down the line, if you watch this video, you're either going to say, damn, I didn't take the advice and I'm still where I am. Or may Allah give the ability for you to listen to these words, and as a result, may Allah forgive me for my shortcomings, and may Allah elevate me and you also, because I've just passed on some advice that I learned from my teachers. And if you follow it also, you'll get somewhere. Your teachers have mapped a path out for you through the forest. You just need to put your footsteps where they had already put in their footsteps, because that's a safe journey. On either side are landmines, corruption, temptation, and heedlessness. And the middle path is the path to success. I'll see you in 10 years and tell me how you performed. And one last thing. So you're doing all this now. So you're thinking, okay, I can do this on my own. Okay, try. The difference between you doing this on your own and the sheikh teaching you this is that the sheikh has insights that you don't know. He's going to constantly challenge you and check you to see if you're performing correctly. And those mistakes, you won't be able to see in yourself or take them out. The sheikh is the one, he wants you in his mold, a higher mold. And he can make you into that mold. You can't make yourself into any other mold by yourself because you're only looking at your mold. So you're always going to be good. You're not going to kick yourself hard enough. Just like the doctor has secrets of your health, just like the doctor has secrets that you don't know, the dentist has secrets you don't know, the lawyer has secrets you don't know, the sheikh of the tasawwuf has secrets you don't know. Just go, follow him, and even if you close your eyes and follow him, he'll get you to the destination. Because you're holding his hand and he's walking there consciously, and he'll get you there. See you in 10 years, inshallah. Tell me how you did.